Right, welcome to the Dance Party 247 podcast. Got myself, DJ MV, we've got DJ T, and we've got Sam Saint. And today we're going to be having a general chat about Christmas, presents, and potentially what's going to happen after Christmas with Mr. Boris. So over to you, T, because I know you're very excited to tell us what you bought the other day, because it was a very exciting purchase that you got, wasn't it, from Amazon?
Oh, you mean the 2 hours I spent this morning?
Oh, was it this morning? Yes.
Yeah. we had the balance of a voucher to spend, so the wife got what she needed. I had £24 left, and I thought, how can I spend that on a good little present for a DJ? And I searched high and low for what I searched for originally. I know I searched for black lights. I can get one for £24, but it comes from China, so it takes about 3 weeks to get here. So I thought I won't have that. £35 was the buy it now ones. I mean, this is just for my little studio, by the way. It's not like a proper UV cannon, which should be £100 plus. So it's just a little black light to see if I can, if it works, to change a few things up in here. But that didn't work out. I looked for all sorts of bits and pieces, and I came up with the most useful, but probably the least sexy thing to buy, which was 2 USB sticks.
And how long did that take you to come to that conclusion and purchase them?
Well, I knew at the back of my mind that was my plan Z. So nothing else would happen. I would end up going down that route, and then I got fed up. My young fella was asleep. I needed another hour's kipping lie down, so I thought after 2 hours, how much further am I going to get? I will just do the backup plan. So they have value for money though. The old ScanDisk Ultras, £6. 50 odd, I think £6.55.
It's the same ones I've got in it.
So
yeah, I've also got.
I mean, the reason I did that very, very quickly is that I've got a set of Geminis here that I double everything up that goes through record box. So the USBs are getting full, having obviously played out a few times over the summer and the autumn. So now I just have one set for record box, one set for the Gemini, so I don't have to put them all in the same USB and then obviously choose what has to be staying and going. So yeah, that was my day. So if you are struggling for a gift for somebody, some USBs never go amiss.
What about you, Mr. Sam? What have you been up to today? So I know at the moment you've got a very exciting, very full packed day, with not much time to spare.
Yeah, no, I mean it's been pretty much since Saturday. I've just been flat out. Obviously, I've been doing quite a lot of shows. I've been travelling. I was out in Arizona with Sonny Federa the other day, and that was quality. Obviously, I've been isolating. Got struck down by the old Rona, but I'm healthy. I'm okay. So just waiting for my isolation to end. So I've spoken to you two quite a lot really this week, haven't I?
Yeah. Well, you've been bored, haven't you?
The downside of isolation.
I mean, normally when we speak, it's about a 5-minute topic, and then we just spend 2 hours talking absolute nonsense. And I thought maybe with all of us having time this week, I thought we'd actually get some productive stuff done. We've actually just spoke nonsense again all week, pretty much. I mean, Envy, I was on the phone to you for like, what, 3-4 hours yesterday?
Yeah, it was quite a while, wasn't it?
There was a period where we literally wasn't saying anything to each other either. I was just sitting on the PlayStation, wasn't I? And you were just doing dance party stuff. So, yeah, no, it's not been the most thrilling week of my life, but I've got to be grateful to a certain degree. So,
yeah, well, you've got a lot of Formula One stuff done, haven't you? And a lot of FIFA stuff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I literally have travelled. Yeah, I was in Barcelona earlier when I spoke to T. I went to Azerbaijan, T, after I spoke to you.
Oh, you in what do you call it, Monaco as well?
That
you skipped that one, didn't you?
I'd done 1.5 laps and then deliberately crashed and retired from the session. Azerbaijan didn't fare too well. I was taken out on my first go. I thought I'd give it another go because it weren't my fault. About 7 attempts later, I turned off the PS5 halfway through. So technically, I'm just stuck at the side of the road in Azerbaijan somewhere while filming a Dance Party 247 podcast. So, man of many talents, clearly. So, talking of Santa, Envy, little question for you, buddy.
Yeah, go on then.
So, you can choose any DJ item. Yeah, so it could be decks, deck savers, USBs, but it's got to be under the value of £50. So technically, no decks because you can't get a deck for 50 quid unless it's spares and repairs. £50. Someone says they'll buy you a gift. What gift are you choosing this year?
For me, I would like T. I'm not bored of doing the green screen, but I have been thinking about putting some lights and stuff in. But obviously we've got New Year's coming up, so I'm going to be. We ain't gigging out this New Year's. We left it a bit late to organise everything, didn't we? So yeah, I mean, lights would be great. You know, something like that. You can get lights pretty cheap now. I don't know if I'd go with a black light. Simply and purely because my camera I'm using is not great in low light, so it needs to be. I'd probably go with something like that, a mushroom, or like the old school disco lights that your mobile DJ would turn up with.
An old derby.
Yeah,
call it derby.
Moving
head.
But probably something like that. I mean, the wife's probably got me crap, complete and utter rubbish.
Oh, I remember talking about that. This is how nerdy I am, and I remember what else I was looking for. I couldn't find them at the right what I needed as well.
What was that?
Blow up girlfriend.
No. This is even worse than USBs. What is even less sexier than USBs?
Wongy?
Wires for your speakers.
Yeah, but
wires.
Yeah, but speaker wires are quite an important piece of kit, innit? If you want to hear anything.
I've got two amps. I've got one, my computer system in the kitchen, which I'm monitoring stuff from. That's got. I had to change the amp because the amp blew, so I had to take a cable off my DJ setup here. So I got one speaker here, which is a 300 watt. I'm under the stairs, so it's more than enough. But it's only one speaker going. I got one speaker going in the kitchen as well. So I need a pair of speaker on wires.
So hang on. What you need then? You need like a 10-meter one, so you can have it running in the kitchen to annoy the family. Is that what you're saying?
No, what I was actually thinking of is that because it's going to be a spare. Because literally, if I go on the road, I'll just take one of the wires. Doesn't matter which one, depending if I need to take an amp or anything with me. But so I've got a setup. I've split my setup, so I need one while I am indoors. So it only needs to be a couple of meters, 2 or 5 meters. The 2 meters was like £8 or something like that, but the 6 meters was like £12. So they're going, bargain. Guess what?
Didn't have any.
Yeah, out of stock.
There's there is a place for that I used to shop, and I remember when I first started DJing, I come across these people, and they're just up in Thurrock, in Essex, by like that Fly Sam is back.
I've been watching it for like 2 minutes.
It's called Electromart, and they're like they're a professional outfit, but they do a lot of like on the lower end stuff as well. And they do all your speak-on cables in there, really good, and they're excellent. If you want to get your partner, if he's a bedroom DJ or professional DJ, you can get loads of little bits from there. Do you know what I mean? And I think last year I mentioned about the headphones, and it was like a little unit and it all lights up in the shape of a headphone. I still want one of them for the studio. I'm hoping the wife has got me one this year, because last year she got me a load of rubbish.
What did she get you last year?
A load of rubbish. Can't even remember. That's how bad it was. She just bought me loads of crap. She bought me like a couple of good stuff bits, but she's one of these women who thinks all the crap is what makes Christmas. Like all the stupid bits. It's like for my birthday, she got me. I was 39, so she bought me 39 presents beginning with S.
That's quite thoughtful though.
It's creative, but it was all a load of crap, wasn't it? It was just.
Can I try and guess some of them?
You can try, but I can't remember them all.
Sugar.
No.
Sandals.
No.
Sliders.
No. No, you got to think rubbish.
£2, £3, £4, £5 worth of stuff. That's kind of in that range.
Yeah, she basically, it was like £2 or £3 per item. It was like, well, you know, she went to Home Bargains, and I know you're going to be impressed with that, Sam. And then she got it all from there. So
Just to
like,
be clear,
she got me. I think she got me a sugary drink, and things like that. You know, like the.
So I wasn't wrong when I said sugar. Then
Yeah,
I did say sugar.
And she just bought me loads of stuff like that. It was nice opening up 39 presents, and I thought eventually I'd get to a Nexus kit, but it didn't happen. You know what I mean?
Unless you change your name to Neil by default, Deepole.
Well, yeah and no. My name has an N in, so I was hoping, you know, she might have gone through the alphabet. Simon again.
Surely it would be change your name to something beginning with P, because it's not cool. You don't walk in and go, "Can I have a Nexus?" You go, "Can I have a Pioneer CDJ?"
Well, no, because you if you was going to go and buy a Nexus kit, you would say, "Can I have the Nexus 2000?" You wouldn't go in and go, if you got any Pioneer, you got a Pioneer kit in stock. They'll go, what one?
Well, he wants actually. Wouldn't it be CDJ 2000 or CDJ?
I've got a few names that you could have that begin with C.
Oh, yeah, I can think of very, very many. 4 letters as well. Very short.
Yeah, very creative, Sam. Very creative. So I want to talk about a certain phrase. Not a phrase, a sentence that was sent to me today by a DJ, which is it's quite entertaining. If you know the DJ,
it tickled you.
It did make me laugh a little bit, because we've got obviously a New Year's Eve gig coming up, and I'm assuming this will be out by New Year's Tea.
I hope so.
And the timetable was all done. It was all done. I'm on at 9 o'clock, and I've got DJ Destiny and I've got DJ Wongy coming to mine, if allowed by the government. And one of the DJs messaged me going, "That time's no good for me." And you know, when you just think, well, what's it matter? And he's like, "Well, I don't finish work till 10. Right? Okay, I'm on 9 till 12:30. He didn't ask that. He just said, "That's no good for me." Straight up. Do you know what I mean? And then T thinks he's funny, sending me the same message.
Because it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's the DJ in question is a character, isn't he? Oh. I think last year, I went quite late last year, didn't I? I went at 11 o'clock last year.
You were for Sam, and then Sam did the crossover.
Did I take over from you?
I think I took over from you. I think I took over from Sam.
You were after midnight.
I think so, because Wongy didn't get here till about 10:30.
I thought Wongy was doing the half midnight. I'm sure it was Wongy.
We might have gone back on, because I remember finishing at 2 o'clock.
You might have gone on with Wongy, but I know that Wongy was on.
I think I'd done 2 sets, didn't I? I think I'd done a set on my own, and then I'd done a set with Wongy.
And then you host for him for a bit.
I did, and then he got the ump because he couldn't hear what was going on in the headphones.
Well, I do know how that feels, especially in a live event when you've got the microphone in the room, and all of a sudden you scream down the mic, and I get the full brunt of it.
Well, you know, when you work with the best, mate, that's just what you got to put up with, isn't it? So, what's everybody got planned for Christmas Day then? Obviously, Sam, we'll have to exclude you from this because you're going to be.
Let me go last. Let me go last because I have got Sam planned.
Oh, you have got Sam planned.
Oh yeah.
All right, I'll go first. I'm planning on staying in bed till as late as possible.
Tell you what, I'll ask a question, but I'm just going to answer my own question first. All right, fair enough.
All right, now actually, what we'll do then, Sam, do you want to go first?
No, I want to go last, mate.
He said he wanted to go last.
Come in, fat man.
Therefore, the logical thing was probably to ask me, because there's only 3 of us.
I didn't want to ask you.
The logical thing in your brain was go, I'll ask myself.
Go on then, T.
No, after you.
No, after you. I insist.
After you.
I insist.
No, because you have already thought off what you're doing. I haven't.
All right. Okay. Well, what I'm doing is going to lay in bed till as late as possible till the kids wake me up. Go and pick up my auntie and then get drunk.
But don't you have to take her back?
I'll be drunk.
So what you're doing is basically the excuse is I can't because I'm drunk.
Yeah. So Kirsty may well have to accommodate me because I will be legless.
So you're not going on Saturday then?
Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah, but I'll be sober then. It'll be after.
Okay. So what happens if you come off air at 6 o'clock and she says, right, take her home?
This is Auntie Sharon we're talking about. She ain't gonna want to go home at 6 o'clock, is she?
No.
No.
Mr. Saint will keep in suspension. I'm just gonna lie until the kids wake me up. No one gets up early in this house.
That's a typical parent thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a proper parent thing. Like, I ain't getting up until the kids wake up.
No. Well, the thing is, no, they don't get up early, so they'll get up.
No, mine don't.
And then pot around, cook Christmas dinner. Depends with our eldest is coming over, so I gotta go pick her up. She's staying the night, so I could get drunk, but I'm not gonna get drunk.
I bet you he gets drunk, and then at 6 o'clock he rocks up and he pulls a wongy, doesn't he? Slurring and clanging and all sorts.
I don't have to be drunk to do that. Anyway,
you said it, mate.
Yeah, hopefully get because we have Christmas tea rather than dinner, so hopefully get that done in time for me to jump on and do my 90s remix part 1, because I'm going to do the same on New Year's Day. I got over 4 hours worth of 90s music, 90s club classics on a remix kind of vibe. So that's my day. And then watch Mrs. Brown and about 9 o'clock at night.
Mrs. Brown's Boys. Yeah, no, I like Mrs. Brown's Boys. It was good. I don't know if I'll be complimented at 9 o'clock.
I assume that you've got different options depending whether tests come positive or negative in the next 48 hours. So let's hear what you have to say.
What one do you want first, the positive or negative one?
Well, let's go with them. If you, well, guess I don't know. You tell me whichever you feel comfortable.
All right, so let's go worst case scenario first. Let's get the bad one out of the way. So worst comes to worst, and I'm positive I will wake up as late as possible. I will listen to my family having a nice Christmas from the stable confines of my isolation central. And then I will duly wait in bed until they get home from having a nice Christmas lunch, and I will be able to get mine heated up, room service up to the bedroom door, wait for them to get back 2 meters, pick up my food, eat it in bed, and then just sit playing PS5 until I fall asleep, basically. Might tune into you guys if I have the time.
It's not like you're doing anything else, is it?
No, I mean, I tuned into T earlier.
Yeah, don't tell him. You weren't supposed to tell him that.
He knows. He saw me. We spoke. He spoke to me on air. He knows I was there.
Oh, you actually spoke to him?
Yeah, I've got a couple of comments about your show to you, actually. I'll get to them. However, good news, if I'm negative, yeah, I'm going to wake up proper early because I'm just going to be excited, and I'm going to get my presents. I'm going to sit around in my dressing gown, Bucks fizz, like croissants, stuff like that, nice bit of breakfast. And I'm going to chill, jump in the shower, go out for lunch, go to my sister's house with the whole family, like extended family. I've got like 5 aunts. It's just crazy. Probably have a bit more food there.
he's just gone.
Does he not want to hear my story? Well, he's done himself out of hearing my praise about his show because he ain't going to see it now. I'm not going to tell him. Yeah, and then probably just eat a bit more food until do you want to play a game?
What game?
The game's called Eggy Boff. Eggy Boff. So if I say to you, Eggy Boff, talk to T, that means that you can't talk to T. But if I say Eggy Boff, don't talk to T, it means you talk to him. So it's the opposite.
Right, his internet's gone down.
That's all right.
Let me pause this. Why ain't that pausing?
He knows about the game.
I hear that you weren't going to talk to me.
Yeah, it's nothing personal. It's a game that I play at work. But I haven't been at work to play it, so now I've needed to play it with someone else.
I just feel the urge. I don't know what happened then. My internet just had a bit of an outage.
I went on a wobbly. Mine done that earlier.
So I missed, and I'm sure I'll catch it up on the edit. But just for me, so I don't have to listen and wait to the edit. The good version of your Christmas Day. Let me guess. Negative test tomorrow. Negative test Christmas Day. It's gonna snow. You're gonna do a Billy Connolly, strip off, run around the house as the day you were born, back in again to celebrate. Is that right? I must be close.
I mean, you would be if it was going to snow, but I guarantee you we won't have snow.
Okay.
No.
Well,
I tell you, if we do have snow deep enough, I will film it and I'll send it to you. You can live stream it on the website.
Running around the house, outside as the day you were born.
I can imagine your old man's face.
So what you do is
I said I would do it. It's a bet, Dad. Honestly.
So I could record it and you two could put it as your green screens on New Year's Eve. Just have me running around the house.
Put the music. So I put the music, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot.
No, I probably won't do that because we won't have snow, which makes me incredibly sad. But yeah, so we'll see in regards to snow and pending coronavirus tests, which I'm fully stocked of, by the way.
I take it you're probably still going to have a lazy day. Get up late as possible, go out for your meal, come back, stuff your face, and back on the PlayStation. Anyway.
No, I mean, if I'm actually like allowed out for Christmas, then I will probably be up early. Anyway, just because my mum does that typical mum thing, and when you're going out, the whole house has got to be tidied, despite no one stepping foot in it for most of the day. That kind of vibe. So I'll be up early anyway. So I have to do my test either way. And then if I am out and about during the day, I probably won't be back till late evening, 9-10 o'clock. In which case I'll probably be in the biggest food coma of my life. I've been wasting away up here.
You ain't. You've been stuffing your face with donuts.
No, he went from one extreme to the other. He was on minimal rations because he wasn't feeling well and he wasn't eating well, so not a lot was coming up. Then his auntie got involved. You heard this the other day.
Yeah.
Food ration parcel with every fat food substance known to man to beef him up. Yeah, Lucozade, donuts, you name it.
What's that? A picnic bar?
Pick up, mate. They're absolute nuts, mate. I swear to God, this is just an empty box that the donuts were in.
Maybe
always go Morrison's.
Open up, Wongy springs out.
like a little Jack in a box.
Yeah, I am a little donut.
Yeah, I'm a little donut, honestly, people, and stout. Makes you feel ill. All right, let's get back to the podcast. So, what do you want for Christmas then?
Go on, Sam. Give what you didn't have as a kid. What was the cliche you said?
What?
Peace, harmony, and good health.
Peace, health, and happiness. Yeah.
There you go.
You ain't gonna get that this year, mate, either, because unfortunately, the only thing Santa's bought you is COVID early.
Well, he could still bring me 2 negative tests, and that would be all I want this year.
This year ends very quickly, so you can then cash in next year as well on your Nexus kit.
I don't know why you lot are obsessed with Nexus kits, man. I don't know why you lot also think I'm going to get one. I'm not planning on upgrading next year.
But I want to upgrade, but I'm only going to go to the XDJ 1000 Mark IIs. I'm not going to bother with the Nexus kit next year. I'm not. It's too much money. I can't. I'd love to have it, but I've got a family, so I can't justify spending $4,000 on.
I mean, it is a lot of money, isn't it?
2 CDJs. It's just not. If I was gigging every week, twice a week, 3 times a week, then you could kind of say, yeah, it's worth it.
Well, almost it's not then, isn't it? Because if you're out gigging, then how much time are you practicing in between? If you're gigging that kind of much. Because as you well know, excuse me, it takes a few hours to prepare. If you're preparing both of those, you're talking 4, 5, 6 hours to prepare for a couple of gigs. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be DJing doing that. And then if you DJ, you want to stream, so you need to prepare that as well. So again, an hour or so.
Yeah, but when you're streaming, you can kind of half-arse it, can't you? Because you can just whack a load of tracks on a USB and off you go.
Yeah, you play some of the tunes you already downloaded. You'd probably play out, but you wouldn't want to give everything away, would you? It's like I downloaded all those tunes, those 90s tunes, and I've been really itching to play them. But like, you can't play them because anything you do now, you can't replace back in the other end.
Well, you could. Just because you play them now, don't mean you can't play them again. It's not like a one-time thing, is it?
Oh no,
it's not like you're doing it straight after the other either.
Well, no, but
it takes that fun away, though, doesn't it? It takes that that buzz.
Some banging tunes, and it's like, if anyone actually lived through and raved through the 90s, excuse my phone, I'm about to die anyway, then obviously it's going to bring back memories, even if it's on a remix, or some of them are not remixes, they're just re-edits. So
Sam wants to ask a question.
Has changed corners and has put his hand up. What do you want me to say?
Oh yeah, we changed corners. It's not a question, but just while we're on the subject of bangers, why does that do that when I put my hand up?
I don't
know. Your set earlier.
Oh, don't do it.
Mate, I swear to God, that has been the best 40 minutes of my isolation at any point. I swear to God. Quality set. Oh, mate, it wasn't even just tunes. It was just so clean. The whole mix was just so clean. There was one or two little tiny bits where you corrected it anyway, like after like a second. What's genuinely one of the best mixes I've heard this year.
Yeah, but now what you've done, you've made his head swell. He ain't going to be able to get out of his studio, is he? He's going to be stuck in there now.
Yeah.
For the next 24 hours, he ain't going to be able to get out. Tim's going to be screaming at him. And he's going to be like, it ain't my fault, I can't get out. Sam gave me a compliment.
Those tunes are literally, I put together for playing in Scotland and in Leicester, and it didn't work out anywhere near that I put together a house set and a tech house set, and that's what you heard. It's the literal middle. I started at 100, and it just happened to be, it was Do It To It. It's number 100 on that list. There's 175 tunes. Excuse me. And I just played from there. Because I played the first, well, pretty much from the beginning when we're in Scotland, between those two files. So that is accumulation, the best of what I liked over 2021, pretty much, in a nutshell. It's obviously the tune's got to go. You can't put just a tune on that would like be nothing compared to the others. But yeah, I just put those and go, that would go with that, would go with that, would go with that. That's a good tune. That's a banging tune. We should play on Saturday. But some of those songs, some of those tunes, if you listened to me over the last year, you'd have heard Mr. Sam Saint. But you're getting ready for your shows while I'm on, and I miss Envy's, quite a bit of Envy's, because again, the last half hour, I only hear the last 10 minutes because I'm waiting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've said it before on a podcast. I may be wrong, but I know I've certainly said it to you two guys. The formation on a Saturday, obviously, you've got the train coming through. Obviously, now we've got Calder Fu on a Saturday, then Envy, then yourself, T, and then obviously myself, and then Sharif. It's a nice little train coming through the station.
Then after that, though, Sam, you got Petro Uno plus Drex as well on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm normally passed out by that time, but there's a nice row of acts here, that do good shows and obviously work hard to make their shows what they are. But the downside to that is obviously, like T said, we spend most of the day preparing if we don't have a chance to do it before.
Yeah.
So then there's a large portion of both of your shows actually that I've got you on and I'm listening with one ear. I've got you on a low volume because obviously I'm playing my music and getting it all together. And that's the downside really to the way we have Saturdays, is that I don't actually get to watch your sets a lot of the time. I can't remember the last time I tuned in for one of yours, Andy. It would have been before Leicester. So that's going back.
That's a month ago, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's been November then,
coming
wouldn't
up
it?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so it would have been probably mid-November. Yeah,
That's nice, Sam. Thanks,
mad.
mate. Thing is, like, if for me, if I want to listen to anyone, I have to come out here where I am. I can't sit indoors because the kids and that they will not have it. They will not have the music indoors.
As we know, in the car, it's MVFM all the way. When was the last time you actually download and listen to somebody else's?
20 years ago.
Okay. The only
No,
other time
in fairness, probably I didn't stop listening to music when I stopped DJing, but you'd have your CDs in the car or your MP3s, whatever it was, or you just listen to what's on the radio. Generally, the reason I listen to myself in the car is it's even in here, right? This is supposed to be my workspace, my studio where I can come in, I can DJ, and I can do what I want to do. It ends up being a place where the family come out to. T, you know that, Sam, you do as well. So I can't even listen back to my mixes here because I don't get the freedom to do that. In the car, I get the freedom to do that because they don't mind having the music on in the car.
You have no choice. Let's be honest.
I can listen back to my mixes. And there was one of my mixes I've done a tech house mix. Mr. Saint was more than happy with because he'd never heard me mix tech house before.
I don't remember.
No, of course not, Sam.
Look, listen, yeah, I'm an honest guy. I'm a nice guy, and if I believe someone deserves praise, then I will openly praise them. You've seen me do it to T tonight.
So you'll give him the praise, but you won't give me the praise for my mix that I've done.
Genuinely, and just hear me out on this, yeah, because I like you, you like me, we're friends.
We might not be after this.
I don't remember it. However, if it did happen, then well done for your good mixing.
Yeah, because you got out of the car and you said to me, I'm waiting for a mistake, and you never heard one.
I was sitting in the back of the car going like, oh.
Yeah, so you do remember it.
I was waiting.
It crushes your soul when he goes. It crushes your soul deeply. You go, this one must be no. Okay.
Like, do you know the worst thing? It's like I thought out of me and envy I would keep my tech house crown. And the more and more it was playing, the more and more I was thinking like I was kind of taking it off already, and I was just kind of like raising it, and then I was gradually passed it into the front seat. And then we stopped at McDonald's just at the right time where I could kind of go, oh no, there it is. And I probably fell asleep.
In fairness, though, in fairness, I actually thoroughly, when I was mixing them tracks, I really enjoyed it, and you could probably tell from the way the mixes come out. Like, you can always tell if someone's enjoying a mix because it shows through the song choice, the style of how you put the two tracks together, either being a drop or a blend or you chop or whatever you're doing. If someone's not enjoying it, like I'd done my show last week and I deleted it from our video storage because I was just not feeling it at all. I really wasn't. I
remember I spoke to you on the phone.
Yeah, I didn't want it to go on a replay because the mixing was sloppy because I didn't want to be there. So as soon as I come out and I finish, I was like, delete.
If only he hadn't have done it, it might have been replayed a hell of a lot.
I was just not happy with it. The mixing weren't bad. It just weren't. It weren't good enough.
But, I mean, it's a.
Go on, Sam.
Go on.
I actually heard a reasonable chunk of that, and I didn't hear anything until.
No, but all right, okay. So look at it like this: if the DJ who's done that mix is not happy with it, then it ain't good enough. Simple as that, isn't it? Sam, you can do a set, right? Or a better way to explain it: T done that set, you really loved it, Sam. T could have come off gone, that was a crock of shit, wasn't it?
Well,
because it's the perception of how you feel about it at the time, and yeah, granted, there might not have been no mistakes. It might have been nice and clean, but
did you listen back to it?
No, because I thought it was bad.
Right.
So I just went delete.
I've done that. I've done that many a time on a Saturday. For some reason, I just haven't got into it enough. It's been all right.
And that's the problem. I mean, there probably was nothing wrong with it, but I just weren't. I even turned the speakers up, and at one point they were popping. I had to turn them down, so I thought I'll turn it up and might get me sort of into it a bit. And it just didn't matter what track I played, what I'd done, I couldn't get into it. And it's just my mindset that day.
Well, if you listen back to it, I bet you'd have listened to it and felt better off it having listened.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I should have done, but I just felt it was that bad. I know, and the thing is, I know I can do when you put a mix together and you do it and you feel like it ain't good enough and you know you can do better. It's like I don't want to listen to that back in case it is as bad as I thought it was.
And 9 times out of 10, it's not.
That was the thing. It weren't like I was unhappy with a couple of mixes. I just was unhappy with the whole thing.
Well, sometimes I wish you'd delete the ones where you're sweating and you got like a happy acid man face coming out on your t-shirt and sweat. You know what I mean? Delete those ones.
No, because they're when I'm like that and I'm pouring in sweat and I'm bouncing around, I'm absolutely fucking loving it. You know,
yeah.
I can feel the music and I'm right in there.
And I remember there was one that I did, and I was wearing the same white t-shirt I had earlier. Actually,
you weren't wearing a t-shirt earlier, Sam.
No, like when I was on the phone earlier, not at the start of the podcast, where I had me nips out. Interestingly, the same t-shirt now has chili con carne down it. But I done a mix in that t-shirt once, and didn't think nothing of it. And then I was at work a couple of days later, and I was just rewatching it because it was on the replay, and I had like 20 minutes or so. And there was a point I leant over to reach the mic from the front of the stand, and it was just insane. And I was like, oh my God, how is this even going out? Like, I'm so glad that none of my friends or my partner bothered to watch my shows anymore, because I would have just never have lived it down. And I was actually waiting for you guys to to drop me a line and take the mickey, but you never did.
I couldn't have seen it. That's why. I get sweat. I get sweat under here, yeah, and then down here like that.
Acid man face. And then obviously, if you catch the light with your belly and obviously where it hangs in the t-shirt, you get the 2 eyes, nose, and a mouth.
Well, you know what I mean. I do my best.
I have to check for baby sick and chocolate and stuff for me. I did that today. I went, am I suitable? And like, good job. From here down right now, this t-shirt was all right earlier, but from there down, it ain't no more because I got chocolate on it and it ain't mine. But anyway.
That'd be Remy, wouldn't it?
Yes, it is. Bless
you.
Yeah. But yeah, 9 times out of 10 it can't be picked up on camera anyway. Little things like that. But
no, it don't. I mean, I've got a stain on one of my tops, and you can see. Oh, there you go. There's his chili con. That chili looks con. Like it come out of them donuts, mate.
How did it get that far down before it hit you?
Because obviously I'm eating in my room because I can't eat downstairs. So I was like,
it's like that, isn't it?
I was sitting like that with a tray on my lap, right. And obviously where I'm a little bit sizable nowadays, not quite the chiseled.
So you're a bit thinner, you'd have missed it and gone straight to the floor.
Well, yeah, on the bed sheets or something like that. But as it happened, it landed on me stomach. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, moving on.
Oh, we're talking about that. You go to a nightclub. I'll get changed later. Okay? Nah, stuff it. I'll just DJ in me PJ bottoms or tracksuit bottoms, whichever you want to call them. Really?
Who's that?
You, Lester. You're in your big tracky bottoms. Can we bother to get changed?
Yeah, well, no, because right, there's a story behind it. Yeah, obviously, I drove to Leicester, and then I found out when I got there that there was no dress code. So I'm like, I'll just stay in my joggers. They're comfortable.
Yeah, that's just lazy.
Well, no, I was thinking more comfort.
There was 2 wardrobe malfunctions that day, both from people on the podcast. Now, obviously, we've heard about one of them. I don't know if you guys. I think you were downstairs actually at the start of the night, so you wouldn't have seen it. obviously we wasn't allowed in after we'd set up until like sort of 10 to 10, 5 to 10.
Yeah.
And we had a DJ have an issue with his USB sticks. So it meant that any time, I can't remember the guy's name.
Will,
forgive me.
Will it was.
Yeah,
Will. That was it.
Yeah, he had mine in the end.
So obviously I lost time to get myself sorted, which is fine. It is what it is. And I ended up starting my set with both my coats on.
With both you what on?
Both my coats on. I had 2 coats, which at the time seemed like a good idea because we'd just come in from the cold and it was quite cold in there anyway. And then I must have got through about 2 or 3 tracks and I was like, all right, it's a little bit warm in here now. And then I got to about 6, 7 tracks in and I was like, oh, it's really warm in here now. And then I got to about 10, 11 tracks. I was like, oh my God, it's so hot in here. Like, I was wiping myself down. So you had 2 wardrobe malfunctions that night. Both
There
myself
is a
and
joke in there, Mr. Sam Saint. 2 coats, Mr. Angelo, but I won't go down that route.
What? He was the one that done that statue with a penis, wasn't he?
He's done all sorts. He was a painter and a sculptor, yes.
Get out.
Oh, get 2 coats.
Yes, there we go.
Yes, mate. That's got to go in the end of year thing. You've got to put that on somewhere because people wouldn't expect me to get that. They wouldn't expect me to get that.
Thank you for watching the Dance Party 247 podcast. We've had the guest DJ Sam Saint with us today. Wishing you all the best for next year, matey, as well. Mr. DJ Envy, and you as well. All the best for the 2022. I've been the DJ T for all this year, and hopefully it'll be the same next year. So next time, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that kind of stuff. If you've got a comment, put it below. We'll see you next year. Ta-da.